There you go. Hey, Brad, don't you feel on the spot now that I played that countdown?
I know you got to 9 and then you just started. The anticipation. I was like, oh, I got 9 more seconds. Nope, no, I don't. And we're live. We'll do it live.
Yeah, that 9 seconds was exactly as the exact amount of time as Andre's the Pop Culture Guy's last sexual experience.
He's jealous that I have feelings for Alien, for Predator. So
there were 9 glorious seconds, though. You know what? It's about how you use the time.
Exactly.
The amount of time.
Well, I guess good evening, folks. 9:52 p.m. Eastern, 10:30 p.m. East, 10:30 2024, Wednesday. Agatha All Along, episode 8. 1 episode left to go. This is certainly not like WandaVision vibes, Imran, going on with Agatha at this point. All the WandaVision vibes are over. So where are we at? We haven't had you on in a while. Where are you at with Agatha All Along, Imran?
Good question, because I was here in the beginning and watched the first couple episodes with you guys. And originally, I was like, you know what, the show's all right. It was okay. I wasn't mad at it. I'll tell you what, though. There's 2 episodes in particular. I'm kind of digging what's happening. It did suck me in. Whatever mystery they were doing, whatever the pacing, it's episodic writing. And I'll tell you that the 2 reasons. The Billy flashback episode was fantastic because they explained shit. They did things and they explained it. And you know what? Last week's episode, the Lilia trial, for them to go and explain all the crazy shit she's been saying this whole time, I thought that was also pretty well thought out. So I've actually kind of appreciated the writing in these last few episodes. And this one is very interesting because they build it up to a sense of finality. And, you're watching this. I'm like, there's 1 more left. This feels like the end. And then there's a whole little twist. So they keep sucking me back in a little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit. Like now it's just above average. Like before I was like, it's all right. It's a little bit above average there. The writing is decent. It's thought out. And I do think it has just a little bit of the WandaVision vibes. Some of it reminds me of Loki. Her whole thing, time slipping last week and how she experienced life, remind me of Loki, living in the TVA. It is, if anything, it's well, they thought about this. It's what kind of well thought out, and the writing is pretty good. You got to give the writings a little bit of credit, I think. But I understand you have issues, and maybe I didn't
like the way they handled that. I didn't like the way they handled the flashbacks in the last episode.
Those are my favorite. Those are some of my favorite parts of this show. That is the flashback stuff they've been showing to fill in, because
they lost me a little bit with the flashbacks on that last episode.
But it all makes sense. They're explaining everything, all the crazy shit, all the questions, why all this happened. They've actually explained like 90% of it. The only thing remaining now is like the Nicholas Scratch situation. What's the deal? But they've kind of, they show you who Rio is. You talked about. Everybody heard the rumor. We knew she was going to be. Spoilers, Lady Death, and they confirm it. And it's all kind of starting to connect. I don't know. That's what I think.
Hey, you know what? That's your opinion, and we respect that over here at the MCU'S Bleeding Edge. So, if that's how you feel, then good for you. Hey, maybe I'm just a sourpuss, or something like that. What do you think, Andreas, Pop Culture Guy? Am I just a sourpuss or what?
Yes, you really are a sourpuss. And no, I agree with one part. The show is not nearly as good as WandaVision. I think there's just something special about WandaVision that was so smart. The whole episode of the grief, the 10 steps of grief, and I thought that was
highest rated Rotten Tomatoes of all time of any Marvel Disney Plus show.
I thought that was Miss Marvel actually is the highest rated.
It is Miss Marvel. It's Miss Marvel, then it's WandaVision.
WandaVision, yeah. And I thought it makes sense because it was just so creative. And this show, I not nearly as creative as that show, but it's that close. I think there's a lot of care on the characters more than a lot of these other Marvel Plus shows that we watch these last 2 years. Um, I agree with Imran here about like these few episodes they done a really good job. Here's the thing: when you're a good show, is by paying off what you set up in the beginning.
Exactly.
And this show has been doing that. Where other shows that really fail like that is because they didn't pay off anything that they left off. Like a good example is this Westworld. I mean, Westworld is a good show, but the later season they went a little too far, being too complicated with their storytelling and like trying to amp on the theories and all that. Here, I think the show did a really good job of paying up. That's why I think I appreciate more last week's episode more because the fact that they pay off what Lydia, like her whole arc made a lot of sense because it was all set up and then they actually paid it off was really surprising. And here they did the same exact thing. Now we'll get into it. I think dumping so much of the twist is you have to take it in for like a pre-reviewing. So when I go back next week when we do episode 9, we watch episode 8 to appreciate that big twist that we got here in episode 8. I think the show is good. I think it's definitely I think it's a good mid-tier Marvel project that we got that delivered everything. I'm very excited for the finale. I think let me tell you something. I know you don't like the whole gay thing with Rio and Agatha. Let's be honest. I think this relationship could be potentially a interesting, like dynamic, almost like not in the level like Thor, Loki, but maybe in that level where, because we don't know if it will bring Rio into Scarlet Witch movie, and that could be very fascinating battle between Scarlet Witch and Agatha. Because here's the thing, they haven't gone too far with that like cancel culture thing with this relation. It's been reasonable and like it makes sense in the like more adult relationship. Like it feels more mature relationship than any other Disney show that we've seen or movie. I just think my disappointment with this show, like I think the misstep is the trials. I feel like they should have been more careful with the whole Jennifer and Alice trial, but those are the weakest in the season. Where that's why I was surprised that last week was the strongest. So, yeah, but we'll get into that next week. But overall, I thought this episode was enjoyable, and I'm very excited to talk about it.
Well, I like Ms. Marvel a lot, Imran. I thought Ms. Marvel was really good. I'm not surprised that it got the Rotten Tomatoes rating that it did because when we reviewed it, every episode after episode, I was just raving about it. Like literally.
Well, the thing is, it's the highest rated Rotten Tomatoes series, but it was also the lowest watched.
I know, isn't that crazy? The lowest
watched. Isn't that ironic? The lowest watched, and I was like, man, people are missing out. It's so good.
That was the first Disney Plus series. If Cyber was here, he would tell you that was the first Disney Plus Marvel series that we did. Where when I reached out to other creators to come on, to do the show, they were like, "I'm not watching it." You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like everybody I talked to was like, "I'm not watching it. I don't like the character. I didn't like the character in the comics." You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I mean? I don't.
Yeah.
It was really good. It was really well done.
Yeah, she's great. The character is adorable, very likable.
Had a good finale, right? And that's been a problem with the Marvel Disney Plus shows. It's been sticking the landing with the finales,
I mean, the finale was all right. It did suffer a little bit of the same of all of them. It was like very CGI battle, and then things are resolved. But she's like a Spider-Man character, a young character, and we're going through this with her. And me being Pakistani, right? I'd never actually seen a TV show or movie talk about like the partition when Pakistan separated from India and people out there, and they set a whole scene there. And I was like, oh shit, I've never seen this in anything else. Nobody even talks about this. So that I really connected with that. And a buddy I went to high school with is in the show. He plays the vendor who sells in the food truck. Azhar Usman, he's a stand-up comedian.
Really?
Huh. We went to like an Islamic Sunday school and we plays together. And then he shows up on this thing. I was like, oh my God, that's Azhar. Look at him.
Well, she carried the Marvels too. Kamala did.
Absolutely. And I was worried about her, but she pulls it off perfectly. She's perfectly relatable and cute and capable in that role. But we're not.
What do you think? What do you think? What do you think, Andres Pop Culture Guy? What do you think? Miss Marvel, really good, right?
Yeah, very good. It's definitely top tier for me. Love Kamala Khan. I think the actress that plays her is great. I mean, she is the best name at the Marvels. Like, she's the thing that I like the most from that movie and that sequel. And I'm the one that I'm excited for her coming back. So, you know.
And she's like a fan, right? She's us. Yes. We're her. She's the fan of the universe, and it's just fun to go through it through those eyes.
Yeah. She and Florence Pugh are like the best characters that they debut in Phase 4.
Florence Pugh is great, absolutely.
Yeah, and so they have a bright future for the MCU, so which is good.
That's why I'm looking forward to Thunderbolts. I think it's gonna be good with her.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, I still haven't watched that whole trailer. I saw the breakdown of the trailer, but I didn't watch it. What is that girl's name that plays Miss Marvel, that plays Kamala Khan? What is her name?
Iman
Vellani.
Oh, Iman Vellani. That's
very close to my name. You just take the R out, and you got her name.
And that was her. And that was her first job too.
Yeah, she's never acted. They just like found her. She auditioned, and it's wild. And I was really nervous when they were making the show. I was like, the whole show is gonna rest on whether this girl is likable, and she is. The chemistry's there.
Most definitely. So, I don't have any kind of outline to work with because nothing's been written or anything like that for episode 8 of Agatha. But I'm just going to break the episode down into like, I guess almost like thirds, probably, yes. Right? Like 3/3.
Yeah, sounds
because
good.
You've got your opening sequence there. Leading into the first trial, that last trial where we lose Jennifer Kale. Right, she blips or whatever, and disappears.
She gets her powers back. Yeah.
Yep. Then we have the rest of the trial, and then Billy blips, right, and then we have that ending sequence, where he returns, right, and it's death versus him and Agatha and all that, and then she turns into flowers and all that shit, that whole deal, and then we get kind of extended ending at that point too. So what do you think, Andres Pop Culture Guy? The introduction, where it shows death with that one witch, in the underworld or whatever,
Alice. That was Alice.
Yeah, Alice.
Alice, she came for her. She came to get her.
And then, what did you think about the beginning of that last trial? That kind of boring trial where Jennifer Kale, took off when she got her powers.
Yeah. Okay. So I appreciate two things. This episode did a really good job of picking up last episode, but also addressing the whole death thing because we got the reveal last week, which all of us knew. So whatever. I thought that part was really great and was the best. For me, that was the third highlight for this episode for me. I really like. It was really sad to see Alice realizing that she died and that death was coming to her. I was surprised that Disney allowed this, but it was really cool scene, very dark. I was really sad to see Alice go from episode 5, and I thought this was a good way to pick it up. And then before we get into Jennifer's trial, I appreciate that we got back to the crew from what happened with episode 7, episode 7 last week, and the aftermath of Leo's death and all that. I really appreciate that, the dramatic mood of the beginning of that episode, and then just seeing the conversation between Rio and Agatha was really great. I get you don't like the whole relationship of these two, but you gotta admit they really have good chemistry, and like they have a history. That's something that doesn't work sometimes for relationship we see in these movies, and I appreciate there's like a history with them, and it's really dark because they're playing with each other. Like, she's like making it such a deal to get Billy. I appreciate that we got the reveal that she wants Billy because that he cannot die. He needs to take her away because he can reincarnate again and again, right? So that was really interesting to see why Rio is part of this witch's role. So I really appreciate that reveal. And then you see the the conflict between Agatha as a person with this person she knows, and she made a deal to like give her Billy, and I still appreciate she's a villain, Agatha. Like that's the one thing I appreciate about this part here is that we still making Agatha a villain, so we're not doing the whole hero thing. So I appreciate that part, and the whole this is where I'm disappointed with this show. It's like you think the trial was going to be like WandaVision with the sitcoms, like going through the psychological problems with these characters, but so far that's been the missed opportunity for the show, except for Lydia's trial. Hers was the best because they did a good job of connecting those like threads that we were seeing with with Lydia's future cognitive powers, and that all paid off well, so that's fine. But the stuff with Alice and Jennifer was so poorly executed, and so for this one with Jennifer, she it was a Bond, like a Harry Potter thing. Like if you guys seen Harry Potter Half-Blood Prince with with Snape, with the whole thing, the Bond is like that, because apparently like Agatha bond her so like she could not use her powers like a long time ago. Okay, that's interesting, but I really didn't need that. That was so convenient, and like so like we needed to tie up. I felt like it was better to just have this. There was a witch in Boston, tricked her, and like I felt that was so much better than just having Agatha be the one that did it. And like it was seemed too convenient in that moment of this episode. So I thought that was the really bad writing there. And I was happy we got done with the trial. It was like, oh, okay. So I gotta say that part was really bad for this episode. I thought the beginning was much better with seeing Alice again being taken by death. And then the conversation with Rio and Agatha was the highlight. So that's my opinion on the section.
Imran.
Well, I am kind of surprised, like you said, about what they did with Death, and that the deaths on the show are actually gonna stick. Like Alice is dead, Lilia definitely dead, and we were just down to Jen. And I was, I think we talked about it before. Like, I imagine at the end they're all gonna get resurrected. There is one more episode left, so I don't know what happens yet. But it seems like to the Mrs. Hart actually dead. These people are actually dead. It's nice to see Death actually at work, doing what she's supposed to do. The Jen trial, I feel like they got shortchanged, and maybe it's almost like they ran out of time, and they're like, let's just shove all this together to get this character here. I do like the resolution that she does get her powers back, and it is convenient. You're right that Agatha was the one that bound her. Similarly, how it's convenient that Lilia was the one that bound Billy, and he ran into all of them before, and he runs into him again. But I'm glad she got her powers back, and then she just disappeared in that weird basement room with the clock ticking. So not all you're right, the trials have been inconsistent. Some have been better.
Where the fuck did she go?
Unclear. And also with Billy, so if she was freed, I assumed she just got returned back to her life, and now she has powers. Is what I assume. Okay. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out in the next episode, because I do need to know what your read is about the very end of the show. But this part was okay. They were just had to kind of get through some things real quick, and they did.
I forget the name of the actress that is playing Death, but
Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza. Do you feel like they've gotten the most out of her?
So, okay, the other issue maybe I have with her being Death is severely overpowered. Like, she was almost a celestial. She has amazing power. She was Thanos' girlfriend. I don't know what she's doing mucking around at this level with these stakes. Like, she can kind of just do whatever she wants. But Aubrey Plaza, she is still sexy scary. And so I'm not mad. I'm not mad that we get to watch her in the episode. But Death is kind of slumming it here with these witches. I don't know about that.
It doesn't make any sense. She is she is like a celestial level OP power in the comics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What do you think, Andre's the pop culture guy? Is she undervalued in this show?
Yeah, I had to agree with you guys. I don't know. I feel like she's unnecessary but necessary to the story. I'm just curious where we're gonna end up with her character towards the end of the finale.
Yeah.
That's my thing. No. Here's the thing. It's tough because you got a great actress who lights up the scenes. Like when she pump up, like she was the best thing about that scene. She was the best thing in episode 4 and 5. And you know, when she talked, like she has great chemistry with the cast and she's funny.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand why well, now I think it's because we've seen this episode just recently. I get her motivation now. That was the thing. It's like I guess she, you know, I guess.
Well, so Agatha promised her bodies. She promised
Yes.
her. That's what they were talking about in the recording studio. So that part made sense. But then
Now.
the deal she makes, where she's like, "I'll bring you Billy. You leave me alone," and that was a great moment. Just the shot on Aubrey Plaza's face for so long, and she finally just goes, "Okay." And I was like, "Oh my god, that's really good." Like you see her thinking about,
Yeah.
what am I doing here? What, you know, you can't. And you're right, Agatha's still a villain. You can't trust her, as we see later. She just throws Billy under the bus, but eventually does the right thing. I think, if any of this is real, anyways, this is what I don't know.
Yeah. I gotta say, for overpowered villain, they done a kind of good job with her. Like, my thing is, with other superhero projects, when they overpower them, it's like sometimes how they get killed or get taken over by the hero is sometimes contrived.
Yeah.
So I'm curious how this show is gonna, like, is Agatha gonna take down Death, and like how, or the thing about the ending we're gonna get into, it's totally tricked my mind. It's like, is Death was even exist in those episodes? And like,
Yeah.
that's my thing. It's like, was real there because of the twist that we got here in this episode. So I don't know. It's crazy, but I think they did a good job handling her powers. I mean, she hasn't done anything like a cosmic level, you know?
Right.
Well, Imran, what are your thoughts on that middle section of the episode, where Jennifer blips and then move going forward to when Billy then blips, and you know, and the you know, the challenge or whatever is passed.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. These things happened very quickly, I thought. But that just kind of, so the Jennifer thing happens fine. She fights, she realizes that it was Agatha, and she just has to say these words. It was kind of a powerful moment. The Billy thing was kind of really weird, came out of nowhere. She grabs her head. He's looking for Tommy, and he sees these kids playing in a camp and swimming, and this one kid being pranked and his head being held underwater, apparently drowning. And then Billy goes, Agatha, am I helping Tommy or am I killing this person? And before Agatha can really answer, he's gone. He comes back, but where did he go? Did he go to that kid's body because he guided Tommy into that body now? This is and maybe they'll explain this in the next episode, but I thought that was kind of strange, right? I don't know what you guys thought was happening, but I felt like he was looking for another soul for his brother and to help guide his brother.
I thought, after we get to the next scene, whatever, I think that was just Agatha unlocking his powers. I don't think, because think about it, I think that was just maybe an image to show what he can do as a witch, for him to bring back Tommy, because he can do that by himself. Like, he can easily bring Tommy with his witchcraft stuff. So I think Agatha helped Billy there that moment to realize, to unlock his power,
unlock all his true powers. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that was really cool, because after that you see her doing that Nicholas Scratch hair thing, and I feel like that made a lot of sense what she was doing.
Oh yeah, then the locket, she takes out the hair and there's a little piece of dandelion and puts a tear on it. And like when Billy disappears, a crack forms in the ground.
Yeah.
There's dirt, and then a little daffodil, and a thing grows out, and then the whole thing collapses. Meaning at the end of the trial. What the hell did that mean?
It's a Facebook Messenger sound.
No.
Ding.
No. No. I think that was just the call for I want my gold price of $20 million, please, or the gold or something like that. Like, what's my price? Come on,
Cha-ching.
cha-ching, you know. But nope, we didn't get that. Um, I bet $100 we're still in the richest world, and like all this is exception.
Yeah,
All
because she gets out and it's windy, and then that's when death appears, and they fight, and then Wiccan. I do love this return of Billy floating down with the blue powers in the suit with the hood. I was like, oh, look at him. He looks like the comic book character. I thought that was dope. And he seems pretty strong. He's throwing death around, and then he does unselfishly offer his power to refuel Agatha, right? And he's like, don't take all of it. And she does it. She actually shows restraint, takes what she needs, and stops. And now she's full of Agatha Harkness again.
Yeah.
Right? And then what happened? And then Rio confronted them. What happened after that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Essentially, that was the final chapter of the episode right there. When
Rio
confronted Billy, jumped in there and like kind of like took her out. You know what I mean? Like with his power or whatever.
Yes.
That he ceded his power to Agatha. Right.
But then this is the whole sequence of the choices and Agatha throwing him under the bus because she had promised Rio the teen, and then she goes to him. She needs one of us. It should be me. And Tommy's like, no, I'll do it. Hopefully her going, no, you can't do it. And instead she goes, well, you're right. You heard him. Tommy said he's going to give it to you. And she just walks away. I was like, oh, that's cold. That's cold, Agatha. But then she does make the right choice with an extended makeout session, the kiss of death. Blue
and that leads to like an interlude towards the ending of the episode or whatever. But then all of a sudden, it returns Billy back to his family, and then all of a sudden you see Agatha. That's credits. Yes. So, what'd you think about that, Andre, as a pop culture guy?
Yeah. So, I thought it was great to see Wiccan full on. That was really great. I thought, the costume would look really great. I thought this battle was so much better than the one for WandaVision, their finale. I thought this was more personal fight. I thought the effects here was consistent. Like I preferred this fight over what they did in the finale. And it was cool to see Agatha, restraining herself, from the absorbing Billy's power, and it was a cool team up. I was not expecting. That was kind of cool. But that's the one thing I will say. This show did a really good job of building Billy and Agatha's relationship very well, and I think that moment was really cool. And of course everyone expected the kiss with Rio and Agatha, but I like how you brought up the kiss of death. That is so cool, and I love how they did that. That was so great.
It's creepy that she you see the skeleton and flowers, and I'm like, oh shit, she's dead. They killed Agatha. Are they really killing Agatha? That's their show. The name is her name.
Yeah, I have a theory. I think she absorbed Death's powers.
Oh, from the kids. Oh.
Yes, and remember, she was throwing spells, but when she was fighting with Death.
Yeah,
and you don't know one of those spells helped her, like similar to how Wanda did that to Agatha in WandaVision.
Yeah,
she did that to Death maybe, and then we're gonna maybe see that in the next episode. I think that's what happened. That we see her dead, but I think that's her like taking over the Death maybe powers, maybe, and we'll see. That was really beautiful. Like the way Death was so quiet and she wasn't totally happy to take this person's life. It seemed like she did care about her, and also, by the way, we saw this last week. Her skull face that was kind of like Blackheart.
I think it's awesome. I think it was creepy.
Yeah, freaking fucking creepy.
Nose is missing. You just see
the
whole nose. I'm like, oh, I like that.
Oh my god, it was so creepy. I thought this looked great in this episode because we saw a little bit last week, and I was like, okay, but this episode, I was like, oh, okay, it looks really good. I thought it was really great. It was interesting that, she almost betrayed Billy until Billy did the Professor X mine and Brittany Nicholas scratch, and
Is this how Nikki died? And that's enough to turn her around and take the bullet.
Yeah, and I think that's enough to say that that's what happened. And and then he went into the car. It was funny he didn't do like his mom did, like just float away. But it was kind of funny. He just walk in like in his super costume and drive. That was very funny.
I was like, you can fly, bro. You don't gotta drive anymore. What are you doing?
Yeah, you don't need to drive.
So what happened at the end here? He's in his room.
I have no idea.
He's looking at things, and I'll tell you what I noticed throughout the whole series. Things from his room have been showing up at the trials on the road. I didn't put 2 and 2 together, and he's starting to see everything that he went through in little things in his room. And then he goes, "It was me." And he turns around. Someone is there. We don't see who that is. What is happening? Is it going to be Agatha or what was you? It was him. Did any of this happen? Now I'm questioning if any of this is real at all from the beginning. And they're still in the hex. I think his last 2 episodes confirm definitely that this was his trial. Like this is his witch's world. And that he recruited the Covenant and all that, like unintentionally by him, he met them all beforehand.
Yeah, because remember, like episode 6, it was funny that he met the Covenant people before they even met him. So I think that's what's happening, and we're seeing it in a different perspective while we're watching these episodes. But it's Agatha. Sorry for this pun. All along, she's the one that is helping him achieve this witch's role thing, maybe. And like,
wait, but did he help her break out of the original spell, and now she's helping?
Yes,
him?
I think he did, but there's a part missing.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were gonna see where after the spell, because Rio attacked her, and like I think that's where we're gonna see that after that she control Billy there at that moment and like try to get everything in order to get the witch's robe.
I don't know where it's going. Like I don't know how it's going to end up and finish up in one episode.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. That's the good thing about the show. I like the buildup of this suspense and the mystery. This like is so exceptional, like which I like. I am very curious how they're gonna end it. Yeah, it's crazy. I like the twists and turns. That's the thing. I don't want to see a boring show where the twists and everything is so predictable. But
we did predict everything. Everyone said he was going to be Billy Wiccan. Everyone said she's Lady Death. I feel like all the surprises were already.
Yeah, no. See, that was not their fault. It was Funko Pop and
it was nerds on the internet.
Nerds on the internet, right? Yeah. But I'm saying more of like these episodes. I'm surprised they kept this far, like not like this completely turns around.
Yeah,
I feel like it's really cool because sometimes when you have these shows, it's so boring and like theorizing. Like thank goodness this show didn't go too far, like WandaVision did with the fan theories. I think this was very controlled, but like
it was a little bit there, right? There was a little bit of Easter egg hunting every episode, but it has me invested enough to have to. I got to find out what happens. Of course, we've been through this far. I'm really like excited to see what is actually the last chapter here.
And the rating's been good here. Last week someone brought up, I think they did actually one thing good is attracting people. Apparently last episode was their biggest after
4 million views or something in the first day or something like that.
Yeah. So I again as you say before,
those people should have watched Miss Marvel.
Right, exactly. Where were they for Miss Marvel?
I know. Racist. You're racist bastards. Yeah.
Because there's no white people in the show. There was one white person. Come on, you couldn't come on to support
her boyfriend was white.
Yeah, and he was the best character. I like him. It was sad. Or what was the other show that I kind of wish? Moon Knight. I mean, Moon Knight had good ratings, I guess. But I don't
I
know.
like Moon
Oh,
Knight.
the finale was garbage.
I like
Oh,
all
yeah.
the Egyptian shit though, and the weird like you don't know what's real and
I
what's
love
not. I thought that was great.
I loved what's his name,
Oscar Isaac.
the guy that voiced the Khonshu.
Oh,
Oh,
Abraham.
F. Murray Abraham is
Yeah.
great. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love him. Did he die? No, he's
No. He's alive. He's
still alive.
alive.
He's hilarious.
Khonshu was great. I
And then
loved
Kevin
the-
Bacon. I thought Kevin Bacon
Yeah, Kevin Bacon was all right.
so fun in that.
He was
yeah.
all right. He was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. He wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Oscar Isaac wasn't the problem either because he did a lot in that series.
He was great. I mean, playing all those characters and acting like you don't know what's going on, and then you do. Like, I thought it was fantastic.
Moon Knight
Yeah.
did well. Moon Knight has a pretty solid Rotten Tomatoes rating.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah. Yeah. So and Loki season 2, I was thinking about because their ratings dropped, but I mean, I guess it made.
I thought Werewolf by Night was really good.
I like that one too. Their two special presentations have been good.
Yeah.
I feel like they could do some more of those.
Yeah. Oh, did you seen the Caesar reel that we got from Marvel Studios about?
Oh,
this?
that came out today.
Yeah.
Upcoming. Yeah.
For all the Disney Plus shows that are coming out next year.
Yeah. They show you Daredevil. They show you Ironheart. They show you Wonder Man. They show you the Spider-Man cartoon show. I'm really excited for it, and a little bit of What If and Marvel Zombies and Eyes of Wakanda. There's a lot of things.
I haven't watched it yet, but I saw the lineup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff coming out next year on Marvel TV.
A lot of animation.
Yeah, like 4 animations, 2 shows, 2 or 3 shows. Daredevil.
I like that mix. That mix.
Yeah,
I think that's a good mix. You know.
Yeah.
I hope the Spider-Man show is good because it's been a long time since we've had a good Spider-Man cartoon.
I know, since Spectacular. Yeah, I know.
Yes, that was probably the last good one.
If it's good, they could keep on making seasons of it for a while.
Absolutely. Do your own thing in that.
Yeah.
Just make it good.
I agree. Yeah.
I'm not even sure what Spider-Man who that's supposed to be in that show. If that's supposed to be Peter Parker.
It is. I think it's Peter in high school years, but I think it's an alternate reality. But he's that age. But I think it's in a different universe.
It's gonna be like X-Men 97. It's its own thing.
Yeah,
outside of the MCU. So, but it's gonna be like X-Men 97. We're gonna get Easter eggs and cameos and guest spots of other superheroes from the Marvel universe. Like I know Doctor Strange and Daredevil is gonna be in the new Spider-Man show. Yeah, so it's gonna be like that, just like 97.
That's cool.
So
yeah. Obviously, everybody is stoked for Daredevil too.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, so excited for that.
I mean, if they can make it anything like the Penguin, they'll be fine. I think they should be taking notes. I'm sure they're over there going, "Oh my god, look at this show." And it seems like the sizzle reel made it seem a little more gritty and hard hitting and dark. And I was like, okay, I think this could be good.
Yeah, Eyes of Wakanda could be good.
That could be good too. Yeah.
I was excited, but with that little footage we got, that was really cool.
I'm worried about Ironheart already. I don't even need to watch the sizzle reel.
The clips weren't bad. Like he's got a suit and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I need to see.
She sucked in Wakanda Forever.
No,
she just wasn't really necessary. They just kind of shoehorned her in there.
Yeah, she was unnecessary. There was too many things going on with that scene.
Yeah. That should have been about Namor, and just battling Namor the whole movie. That's what I wanted to see.
Yeah. Wonder Man. I don't know what you guys think. I'm excited for Wonder Man. I'm excited to see Trevor again. So.
So that's weird. It's Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, and he's playing the guy Simon, whatever, who is an actor auditioning for Wonder Man, and then Trevor Slattery is there. I don't really know anything about Wonder Man. Does he get powers?
Yes, he does. He's another classic Avenger in the comic books. He was
an actor and a stuntman.
Yeah, something like that. He was I think he's the next or the literal source of how Vision became Vision.
Oh,
yeah, that's the major thing I remember about that character. And he does date Wanda at one point in the comic
they were a
books.
thing. I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, and one of the Roy Thomas run of the Avengers or something like that. Yeah, I'm very excited for that because at least that's Destin Dale Cranton doing that show, and I think
that's right. Yeah, and he's doing Spider-Man 4 also.
Yeah, exactly. So
I used to fuck with Wonder Man when he used to be on the West Coast Avengers back in the day.
Yeah, with the big like W on his chest, just like the tank top with the W and the slick back hair. Is great.
When Scarlet Witch were on the team and when Vision was like white Vision.
That's a good team. That's a great team. West Coast, but they should do that.
Oh man, we've talked about that so many times over the years on the MCU'S Bleeding Edge, Imran. Why haven't they
done this? Yes. I don't know why they should do that
with War Machine on the team, and Hawkeye.
You can have multiple Avengers franchises going at the same time. No problem.
Yeah, they should have done West Coast Avengers. They had the players. They had Rhodey. Yeah, they got Hawkeye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They Wanda, Scarlet Witch, right? Wonder Man, right? And then fucking who else? Andres, who else was on West Coast Avengers?
Tiger was one of them, or
Tigress or whatever.
Tigress, yeah, and then Cersei was in one of the worst.
Cersei. Black Knight was on the team. Black
Knight. Yeah. So yeah, I think they can do it. I know they're.
Wasn't Hercules on the team too at one point?
Yeah, he was in Layer in the team in the Layer comics. Yeah, I mean they have.
That's when Cersei and Black Knight were together.
Exactly, but we're not gonna get that because Eternals flop.
Mockingbird. You also had Mockingbird.
Hawkeye's girlfriend. Mockingbird. That's right. I was gonna say, what about Hawkeye's girlfriend? Mockingbird.
A lot of people.
Mockingbird was a core member of the West Coast Avengers. She was one of the core characters that formed the West Coast Avengers.
And then Hawkeye recruited like the Thing and Hank Pym and the Wasp. USA, Human Torch, Quicksilver. A lot of people were on Spider Woman at one point.
Spider Woman.
The Wasp is a great character. Seriously.
Yeah, Dana Van Dyne is a very good character.
Yeah.
Need to use her more.
Well, Cyber brought this up in the chat. It's very funny. What If is coming this year in December? I'm like, oh god.
I like those what ifs. I love the what ifs.
I like what if.
I didn't like season 2.
Yeah, that's my thing. I wish this show just like Tales of the Crypt or Black Mirror, like
they're trying to build like their own thing, which maybe is handicapping them.
Yeah,
they could push it further, right? I used to read the comic book when I was a kid, and they were great because it was always just some wacky setup that you could just explore because it didn't mean anything. I thought they would do more of that and push it more, but they're kind of like they introduced a new character. I like the Native American character in the last one, but yeah, they gave Peggy Carter another episode and they built a whole continuing.
Yeah,
they should just do crazier things.
Yeah, outside of the continuity, like that's the thing. That was the thing I initially was excited for. What if? But then it was still in the MCU continuity.
I want them to continue to bring back the old school Avengers characters, like the original 6 characters and shit like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If they would do that, I'd be all about it. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good place to do that. Yeah, because you can just because they have the voice.
Yeah, you can
voice actors.
Keep them going. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not have Chris Evans come in and do Steve Rogers?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why not? I don't have a problem with Peggy Carter. The Peggy Carter stuff doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
I'm cool. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind the Captain Carter shit or whatever. That they went heavy with that in the last season or whatever. Or what if?
Yeah.
That didn't bother me. I
like Peggy Carter. Yeah, I like that Peggy Carter, Captain America.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, like, just make a spinoff for her character.
Right.
Like,
just give her her own show already.
They did.
Yeah.
Well, they already did. They had the Peggy Carter TV series for 3
TV
seasons.
show. Yeah, but now if you want to do like Peggy Carter, Captain America alternate.
Yeah, Captain Britain, something like that. Or Major, whatever.
We saw her get killed in that
Doctor Strange 2
movie.
All right, guys. So let's do ratings for Agatha episode 8. All right, Imran, what's your rating? What's your 1 through 10 on Agatha episode 8?
For 8, I will give it like a 7. I think I was impressed by the last 2 episodes, and then this one seemed a little bit rushed, and they just said I see what they were doing. They made you feel like it was over and there was a resolution, and then I was like, there's another episode. So that was really interesting watching that. I was like, because it could have ended right there, would have been kind of fine without the last little twist, maybe. But I'll give it a 7. Hopefully, I think the finale is going to have a lot of fun things.
I like when there's a twist and a pull. You know what I'm saying?
A twist and a pull. I mean? Oh, you're pulling and twisting. Ow.
A little pull.
Yeah.
What do you think, Andres? What do you think, Andres, the pop culture guy?
I'm more of an out than a pull. So
not an innie, it's an outie.
You know where that comes from, right? That comes from Seinfeld. Remember Seinfeld? Remember when what's his name stole Jerry's move?
Oh, yeah, right. They were all doing the move. Yeah.
The move. Yeah. And then George's father
George started using the move too.
Yeah. I remember that. Oh, that was so funny. I'll give this a decent 8 out of 10. I thought this was better than last week. I need to watch again last week's episode, but I thought this was a better episode from last week. I was top of my seat, like very excited. I was like very, like it was more engaging than last week for me because as Saber brought up before, the episode's flashbacks were so jarring. It was like hard to keep up what was going on last week's episode. Here, I was a little more like focused. Like we got rid of the trial right away, which was good, and there was like way more action, which was really great. And the ending, best cliffhanger. I really like it. It made me want me to like after this. I'm gonna watch the next episode.
Who do you think? Wait! Before you do, who do you think that is? Who do you think he sees?
I think that's Agatha. I think she's laughing. You can hear her voice. I think that's Agatha.
There was a laugh. Yes, they teased that. So if that's her, is it a ghost or is she not dead and all of that other? It was all bullshit. What we saw. I don't know. We'll see.
I think it's this bitch.
The hoes are laughing.
Yep.
So the audience are a bunch of hoes.
Yep. Catch me outside. How about that?
Huh?
Catch me outside. How about that?
Catch you outside? What does that mean?
What I just said.
Catch her outside and she'll go outside and do what she has to do. That's what she's talking about.
Oh, yeah,
this
yeah,
is
okay,
all,
yeah.
This is all, but don't you see that this is all mouth?
She turns around and it's like, catch me outside. How about that? Ah.
Yo, that chick made like $20 million.
Oh, she was like touring. Yeah, and then she was like making music or singing.
Yeah, she was on some rap song or some shit like that.
She's the original Hawk Tua girl right there. Like Haley
yeah.
like nothing.
That's who was in the closet or whatever at the end of the episode. It was her.
It's her the whole time.
Yeah.
It was Bad Baby all along.
Oh my God. Dear
Take me
Lord.
outside.
Take me outside.
Yeah. I mean, so again, yeah. Sorry to just be no fonder here, but like, Agatha in the comic books became a ghost. I don't know if they're gonna do that for the MCU, but I can see her maybe doing like she astral protect herself from the witch's world, and I think that's.
I wanted to become a ghost and then have sex with the death chick.
Oh my God. Just like Ghostbusters when Dan Aykroyd was having his like
dream.
Dream.
I don't know if it was a dream or real. That's a PG movie, and they just almost showed us a ghost going down on a dude. The 80s were a great time, man. Let me tell you.
Oh my God.
The 80s.
Technically, it was real because the ghost know what kind of fantasy he wants, and he gave him his dream to do that.
Apparently, that was all cut from an extended like ghost sex scene with Ray that was like written in. There was more of that. It was very weird.
Yeah. But hey, that's the 80s.
Good times, baby.
It was the 80s.
Good times, baby.
Yeah.
Sex and cocaine, baby. The 80s. What's up? 84. 84 with bushes.
Hey, the mustache is coming back. I've noticed that. Have you noticed that on these kids and the hipsters?
I noticed that the mustache is coming back. I'm thinking about bringing it back. Yeah, I'm gonna have to join in there here pretty soon.
The pedophile porn stash look is coming back.
I have noticed that some of the young dudes are rocking mustaches now.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that.
I used to have a mustache back in the day.
Yeah. Just the mustache? Yeah.
Yeah, just a mustache. Yeah. That I just have a goatee with the mustache too, like that, And then once I could grow a beard, after that I just had a beard.
So briefly, I had this white mustache only, and I looked like Richard Dreyfuss playing a college professor. It wasn't a good look. It was a very pedo look. I was like, no, I don't like this. This is not gonna work.
I could not imagine.
But yeah, no. I have a photo somewhere. I think I took a photo, and I was like, nope. I wanted to see what it would look like. No.
I've considered like whacking my beard off. I'm like, I almost had a wardrobe malfunction recently. I went to go trim my beard, and I forgot to put the trimmer part.
Oh, no! And then all you mess up, and all of it's coming off.
Yeah, I went to go trim, and it just gouged my hair.
Oh, no.
So I'm like,
then you do another one on the other side to make a match and say that was this. I meant to do that.
It grew in and filled out, so it was all right.
Okay,
but I'm gonna give the episode. It did keep me more focused. Like Andres Pop Culture said, I felt more tuned in to this episode than I did episode 7. So I'll give it a 6.5, just to be fair.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all I have to say about the end of the episode. Let's close the book on it. Why don't we plug out of here, guys? And we'll be out of here within an hour tonight. It'll be an early show. What's going on over at the Jock and Nerd Podcast, Imran?
Oh, what is it going on? I don't know. What did we put out? Oh, we reviewed Venom. Venom: The Last Dance. Oh boy, and we've been talking about Agatha and Penguin.
Oh man, you guys had an 2 hour long episode.
Yeah, a lot of it. Half of it's The Last Dance. Half of it is Agatha and Penguin. And we were doing some classic horror movies like Nightmare on Elm Street and the original Halloween. I think we will review the original Friday the 13th to round out, just to get like the trilogy, the first of the trilogy. But if you are a listener of audio podcasts, we can be found anywhere. If you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, just search Jock and Nerd Podcast. New episodes every Wednesday about something, about fun stuff.
There you go. Thank you, Imran. We appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming. This was a fun night.
It was fun.
Cyber missed us because he thought we were doing both episodes at like 10, 30 or 10 whatever. So he missed us. Sorry, Cyber.
He can catch you in the next one, the last episode.
Yeah.
He can. Most definitely.
Yeah.
All right, hi.
Yeah, anyway, so speaking of trilogies, I'm finishing up my horror trilogy here of a big anniversary for horror movies of this year. So yesterday, I just released the Wes Craven New Nightmare 30th anniversary. Check that out. Hopefully tonight or tomorrow for Halloween, you're going to get the 40th anniversary for the Friday 13th final chapter. Great film. Well, not great film, but like it started of the Tommy trilogy in the Friday 13th series. Yeah, and I'm working on my top favorite horror sequels for Halloween or the start of November. Yeah, and today I just did my pop culture recap on all the shows that I'm watching currently with the MCU. I discussed that. And I just want to thank everyone for supporting me. Please subscribe my channel and hit that like button. Please support me, Imran, Jeff here, and Saber, across our channels and, socials, and it'll be telegraphful. So, yeah, this was a fun night today, guys.
Okay.
And last thing, I'm going to New York, and I'm going to see this Halloween parade. Yeah, so if you watch my shorts, I'm going to hopefully make some shorts when I'm out there with the Halloween parade. So that's going to be interesting.
When is that? Tomorrow? Tomorrow's Halloween. I hope everyone has Halloween.
Yeah. I'm going to dress up as a neon clown. So, so that's going to be exciting.
Like a scary clown? That's
yes.
A scary clown? Okay, good.
Yeah, it's going to be scary.
Well, there you go. Happy Halloween, folks. And God bless everybody out there. We, of course, will be live again on Friday for Wonder Woman. And Imran, it was really good to see you, brother.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me. Love you guys.
All right, Andreas. Appreciate you, brother.
No problem. Thank you.
We out of here, folks. Peace.
Bye.